Hello and welcome in to the Fanspeak Network. I am your host, Justin Bruni. Joining me, as always, is my co-host and partner, Mr. Andrew, the TD King, Raub. And we have a very special guest this evening, the inaugural Best Ball Jeopardy champion. We've got Candyman Chris, owner of a most excellent fantasy football garage, in with us tonight to talk some best ball, talk some battle royales this week, catch up on how we're doing, BBMs, tournaments, stuff like that, and really dive into this week 4 card. Gentlemen, how are we doing? How are we feeling?
Good, Bruni. As always, good. It's nice to have Candyman in here. Have been battling Candyman for quite some time through the streets. Nice to finally get him on and get a little peek behind the curtain on how he looks at the Battle Royale street. So, yeah, pretty excited to have him in here. Candyman, how we doing?
I'm doing great, gentlemen. Better every day. Thanks for having me on. Super excited to be here. Been a fan of y'all. Like I said, for years, been watching y'all cut it up. So I feel like, it's just another week, listening to y'all and getting into these matchups and sweating out some of these teams. So I'm excited for it. I'm feeling good. We're still early in the season, but there's a lot happening. And man, this week, injury news, the rookies popping off the page, Scattaboo. There's just a lot going on, man. There's so much to talk about. It's the best time of the year. We're right in the thick of it.
I wound up drafting Scattaboo not very much in best ball. I think I have like a good 5 or 6%, but then I've got a bunch of them in redraft. Like he's holding it down for me. Just ask Andrew. He's holding it down.
Jesus.
I started him over Swift this week. Swift kind of a softer sit, but I was feeling it. The injury to Tyrone was like could just kill her. So we'll take what we can get. Take what we can get. Let's go ahead and do our part. Let's smash the like button, share the video. Let's follow the Fanspeak Network. Gentlemen, do you have anything you want to share before we get in? Andrew, anything you're looking ahead to? Candyman, anything that you'd like to promote? Anything that you like to have coming up that might be exciting that you might be able to share with our audience?
Sure. I mean, I've been doing kind of weekly in-season live streams on my channel. Bindles and I have continued to do our Ballsy show. We don't have one this week, but pretty much almost every week we're doing like a Ballsy breakdown of the previous week and looking ahead. Hartman and I have been doing a weekly show where we draft some battle royales or primetime paloozas and look ahead at week 4. We did one last night, and then actually later tonight after this stream, I'm going to go live on my channel and have Huhames on and see if we can't sneak in a few more of these second quarter drafts before it closes inevitably by this weekend. So I'm excited to dive into that format with him. And then, just going live when I can throughout the in-season. Really, it's the best ball summer is kind of my peak drafting and going live time, but finding ways to, in season still kind of cut it up and have some fun.
Awesome. No, we appreciate that. Everybody go follow Candyman. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Slowly climbing on the grind, just like all of us. I love that. Nice little hop there. My guys got hops. My guys got bunnies. Getting over the captions. My man. Andrew, anything to share before we dig in? We do have to pull the board down, unfortunately, because Chris, if you watched some of these previous episodes, we're getting a little more insight. We're digging in. We want to know a little bit more about you. So Andrew's going to clock us for about 60 seconds here, and we're going to ask you some rapid fire questions. Try to dig in. Know the Candyman, the man behind the shades, if you will.
Uh-oh.
All right. I will.
Any sunglasses questions? That is poor on my part. I really don't know sunglass brands like would you say like Ray-Ban and what?
Oakley, there's
Oakley's,
fucking Shady Rays, there's Midwest. I mean,
Shady Ray, don't do that. Don't do that.
What's wrong with Shady Rays?
Stop it. I got them right here. I was gonna wear them. I was gonna try. Yeah. It's like it won't work. They're dog poo. They're dog poo.
So these are actually the new Meta prototype AR glasses. So I'm actually seeing things in augmented reality in virtual space in front of me. So that's my edge in best ball and in drafting. I actually have all the data at my fingertips.
No, you're not. That would really make you. I mean, just now you make me really want to just get up and go to Walmart and buy all that shit, and just do that.
I'm not lying.
I don't, but I want to do that. You've kind of really piqued my interest there. But let's get into this interview here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Andrew, you let us know when we're ready. Maybe like a 3-second countdown before the go.
10-4. I will give you a countdown here. Let's see. We're at 5-4. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam.
Hero RB or 0 RB?
0 RB.
Allen or Mahomes?
Allen.
101 or 112?
Give me the 112.
Dad nap or late night grind?
Late night grind.
Coffee or energy drink?
Coffee.
Disney World or beach vacation?
Beach vacation.
Underdog or DraftKings?
Come on now. Underdogs.
Snacks during drafts, sweet or salty?
Salty.
Drafting stacks or raw BPA?
Oh, stacking all day long.
Unders or overs?
Unders.
80s or 90s movies?
Oh, wow. I mean, you really, there's no wrong answer, but I'll go 80s.
Name that stack or stats?
Name that stack.
Bindles or Hartman?
Ooh, can't choose there. That's a tough one.
Time's up.
Can't choose. No answer.
No answer.
Marvel or DC? It was the last one on the list.
That's tougher for me. Probably just Marvel. Just give in to the popular answer. Yeah, probably just Marvel.
I mean, that's just like saying like, do you like HBO or Showtime? Like, it's just
exactly
just like it's just. Yeah. I'm sorry,
100%.
You forgot Skinamax.
That too. that too. I think those are certain hours though. It's like it's not just like on.
We all
the
as
time.
Young men, we all remember those hours. You wake up, you left your TV on 2:30 in the morning.
Holy
you wake up,
shit.
Girls Gone Wild is on for the infomercial. You're like, oh, I'm not sleepy anymore.
Where are we now?
All right,
no, I
awesome.
think it's a very it's like a time capsule of a memory there. It's no longer a real thing now. There's just like the infinite internet and anything else that kids can get into these days. But there's always going to be that moment in time where you had to actually be watching Skinamax at 2:30 a.m. to catch a glimpse.
Yeah. Or you wake up and the TV's on and it's 3:00 in the morning and you have the soundtrack of the of all the love songs. You got Michael Bolton screaming out.
Yes.
You're awakened by Michael Bolton. You're like, the hell was that noise? And you're like, oh my God, I left the TV on. Trying to get you to buy one of those CDs.
Dude, those commercials are hilarious. What's even better than those commercials are the people that make fun of those commercials. There's a black guy on Instagram that does like this, it's like a spatula microphone, and he just does like the voice for every single commercial, and then does like dubbing of the songs, puts on a different crazy wig for every character. It's fucking hilarious. I gotta find it.
What about the Sham Wow guy? You'd come on to be infomercials. It could be anything, but there's always Sham Wow was one of the ones back in the day.
What was the powder? The OxyClean?
Mm-hmm. Oh man, Oxy, everything. Billy Mays here.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Oh man, what a time to be alive that was.
Gosh, peak living.
All right, let's pull up the board. Let's dig into some games here. Andrew, what are you thinking? Let's dive into a first matchup.
I was just pulling up here the team totals. Obviously putting the top here. So obviously you got the Buffalo Bills at the top with 32.5 going against the New Orleans Saints. Oh wait, you know what? And my bad, I have not looked at the board. So tell me if I'm reading one off that is not on the slate. I'm forgetting who the late games are. We got the Packers coming up with 27.
Packers
points.
are off. They're Sunday night.
That's Sunday night.
Lions 26.5. Rams 26.
Rams are
and it's
live.
Nice to have the Lions back in the slate too.
It is.
Is it though?
There's a lot of teams out though. Like the Steelers are a great matchup. They're out. Who else was the Bengals?
I mean, it's a hell of a matchup for the Detroit running backs, who the one of the best running back tandems of all time in all NFL history, going up against the current year's best run defense. So that'll be kind of a showdown. Maybe it's go for the running or wide receivers or the receivers in that Lions offense attack.
We talked about them the last 2 weeks going against Derrick Henry and also Josh Jacobs, and just, talked about like how well they're doing and how running backs are not performing very well against that. And again, like the sheet kind of showed us that with historical data on a couple of these guys. So if you've been watching, like the sheet did tell us to not take those guys, and sheet holds true thus far. Though I do think that Jahmyr Gibbs is a different running back than what they have seen. Obviously, Jacobs and Henry kind of power backs, and that's probably what Monty is. But Gibbs, a little bit different. So I'm not 100% sure that I really want to fade Gibbs in this spot. But if you are a guy that's in 12-person drafts and are thinking about drafting Monty, you may want to hold on doing that thus far against the Browns.
Sure.
Yeah, no disagreement there. And yeah, Gibbs, I think when you're looking at the pushback, how you can combat that defense, that power rush that they have to stop the run, start getting them some passes. Cash the ticket last week on the 4+ catches, hit 10+ catches week 1, right? So he can easily be included into the pass game, and keep Monty and Gibbs on the field at the same time. I think this is the type of game for that, to try and mind game the Browns defense a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So we got the Rams 26 points. The Ravens 25.5 going against the Kansas City Chiefs. Pretty good defense, so that's an interesting one. You got the Chargers going against the terrible Giants 25.5. Broncos 25.25, and then the Niners rounding out the 25+ team total. Candyman, of the guys that are from the teams that are 25 and up, who's somebody that you're looking at targeting, and which team are you kind of looking at maybe more of a full fade on there?
Sure. So the teams that are 25 and
that's
up
pretty much
here,
the Niners. Yeah, the Niners and up on this sheet.
Gotcha. Yeah, I see where you're pointing out there. Perfect. I obviously am a big fan of what the Chargers are doing, and I think that is a clear and obvious smash spot against the New York Giants, where we've seen teams really, take it to them and put up some big weeks against the Giants, whether it was the Chiefs in prime time most recently, or it was Dallas in that overtime game. So I think that's a very easy one to pick out there. Los Angeles Chargers.
Love the Chargers this week.
Yeah,
I love them.
At New York Giants. There we go.
Yep. Yeah. So on the Chargers, are you more or less looking to take the Herbert and the pass catchers approach, or now do you believe with Najee no longer on the field that Amari Hampton, it's his time to shine? Are we kind of, I think if you take Herbert and the pass catchers, you're more in line with what the rest of the common folk are going to do. If you take the Amari side, that might be the sharper play. Which way are you leaning? Because I don't think that the Herbert and the pass catchers is the wrong side. I do think it's going to be the more popular side though. So how are you looking at it, like as far as who you want to draft?
That's a good point. It's not too early, and he's not overhyped. It's Amari Hampton with the Najee news. This is the time to attack before it becomes blatantly obvious. But one thing I wanted to throw out there, so for the opponents who have faced the New York Giants opponents this season have averaged 153 rushing yards per game. The Los Angeles Chargers have been averaging about 92 rushing yards per game. So, man, that's like a 1.5 times factor that we could expect the output from the just rushing yards per game kind of output for the Chargers. So that could be a big place for them to hit. Also, the New York Giants have allowed 5 rushing touchdowns. The Chargers only have 1 rushing touchdown on the season. So this is a smash spot for Amari Hampton to take over the snap share and the touch share from that running back position and show us what he's got. It's going to be a week 4 super breakout for Amari Hampton. The rookies are taking over the NFL.
Love it. I will note that both the secondary and the run defense for the Giants are top five targets for the running back and wide receiver position. They rank 5th for most fantasy points allowed to receivers. Big boost to Keenan and QJ. You mentioned there's only been 1 rushing touchdown. that's because those dudes have been absolutely cooking in the scoring territory. And then, like you mentioned, Amari Hampton, he's got the 4th best matchup this week. And actually, if you take the Bengals off the board, it's the 3rd best matchup for a running back this week based on fantasy points allowed per game so far. So absolutely love smashing any side of that argument. I think right now, based off of the board, I may lean into the contrarian take there and go Amarian over maybe a Herbert and Allen or Herbert and QJ stack because of the growing popularity. People have seen QJ do it several weeks in a row. It is still a light matchup, the big playability, right? But I think, like you'd mentioned, some of those early struggles from Amari and Hampton holding back that the ADP value a little bit still for us. And I think this is a big week to grab them.
What time are we in where when you talk about Herbert and pass catchers, you skip over Ladd? I mean, is that where we at with Ladd right now?
Is Ladd scoring touchdowns, my friend?
I was gonna say
is he outpacing a Rondé Gadsden right now, my friend?
You rattle off Allen and QJ, and we're like not even talking about Ladd. Like Ladd
needs
to
go ahead.
One of these weeks, Ladd's gonna shove it down everyone's throat. I don't know when that's gonna be, and I'm not sure it'll be this week or not. But it is funny that when you mention Herbert, you didn't even mention Ladd. Like that's where we're at with fucking football right now.
Scroll right past him, my friend. Is there any trust factor other than, hey, let's play the gut instinct that like this could be it? The way that you're seeing QJ and Keenan, being targeted in the red zone, even when they just get inside like the 30, like these are the guys that are making the big plays, like those big athletic plays. Like Keenan Allen didn't do anything special in this touchdown last week, but he was just able to body through a guy downfield. You're not going to see Ladd McConkey get those routes. He's going to be the clear fail safe when, second or third read, when something's not there. And it's a reliable second or third read. That's the best second or third read you could probably get in the NFL. We were talking about this last week about how this Chargers receiver group is overpowered right now. Ladd being your third guy is insane if that is actually how they're operating. I hope for his sake, he's a good young player. We'd like to see him, get that work, get them, 12 catches, them 150 yard games, especially where we drafted him in best ball. But right now, he's just being a complement to a really good passing offense led by Keenan and QJ.
When we look at Herbert here, he does only have one game played against the Giants. He had 275 passing yards. He had 3 total passing touchdowns, 19 rushing yards. So he had a very good game against them when he did play them. So I mean that I feel like maybe you just can't go wrong.
Picking Chargers.
I think the Chargers are going to be very popular play this week in survivor picks as well. Just taking a look at this. So, and Mike was letting us know again. Shout out Mike Raub, the chat lord, also the creator of this wonderful sheet. If you look at the bottom, that he has a tab for pretty much everything and anything. He even added tabs in here where we got defense versus tight ends, defense versus wide receivers, defense versus running backs, defense versus quarterback. Like, so here's the defense versus running backs that we were talking about earlier a little bit.
That was my suggestion. Thank you.
He has so much shit in here.
No big deal.
It's just everything. It's so wild.
What are the other columns? Because I just said to put it in for this year. Maybe he put it in for like last year too, or something. I mean, like what else is it? Go to like defense versus QB.
Okay, defense versus QB. So it has the defenses and then what they've allowed yards wise, passing touchdown wise, quarterback rushing. Touchdowns.
Okay. Yeah, it has all of it. And then
he also has he has defense versus QB and defense versus QB rankings as well for passing yards allowed, a touchdown, like all of it.
This, I should have just looked at the damn sheet. He's getting all my work done ahead of me. I got to just look at the sheet.
This is just, it's extravagant what he has here.
It's not cell phone friendly. I got to get it paired on my my damn iPad. It's like a work iPad. I don't have like my own thing on there. I got to get it. I got to get things in.
He did also add league leaders for us as well at each position. Doing the Lord's work. Goodness gracious. You better take a day off of work to be able to go through this whole entire thing. Wild.
Him and Pat Donovan could take over the world, in my opinion.
Oh my God, yeah. There you go, Mike Rob. There's a good idea for you. Hit up PD.
You guys, I'm serious. Like those two should go into business together. I mean, Underdog should be paying Pat millions. I don't care what anyone says.
No doubt.
This is just excellent. So, like, I mean, I love what he does for us. Appreciate you, Mike.
That would be awesome. And then I just wanted to look at, like, obviously Keenan's been around the league a little bit. Only 2 games played versus the Giants. He had 7, so he's averaging 3.5 receptions a game, averaging 63 yards. Does have a touchdown per game as well. So Keenan playing, fairly decent as well. I'm just trying to look. Nobody else really has games played against them because a lot of rookies here. Let's go back here to my God, I can't even figure out where the hell I am on this fucking sheet. There we go. God, so much. Okay, so you said the Chargers you're going to. So I also asked, like, anybody up here that you think is going to be popular that you're kind of just maybe not full fade, but you kind of want to fade the public on it?
Honestly, like, a lot of top end picks don't have like the top end matchups. So I think this is a big scroll week. I think this is a time we're really looking down the board.
Could be. I mean,
I'm in. I would agree. I think I kind of like some of the momentum around these other lower, team totals, like maybe the Colts.
Oh yeah. No, we love Colts here. I mean, give us, what Colts player, I guess it would probably be Josh Downs. Like, because you would easily draft Pittman right now the way that he's playing with Danny Dimes. John Taylor's come off 3 touchdown game. Tyler Warren's a great, throw pick. I mean, I don't think it's a lock, but it's a bit of a scroll pick, I think, for tight end still. But it feels good based off of the eye test, like what we've seen. But I think Josh Downs you might hold out. I don't think you're really digging to Alec Pierce. I mean, by all means, it could be one of those weeks, but that's a lot of conviction. Like, that's really going out on a limb getting those guys. It's very Trey Tucker. If you had Trey Tucker last week, that would be the similar play.
True. I wish it would, or it could be an Alec Pierce week. It sounds like that concussion might hold him out. And so do we see Adonai Mitchell get some play? But I mean, that's a real risky proposition.
That's the thing. I love hearing someone like talk him up, but he also feels like the same as like Luther Burden. Like, Luther Burden was cool last week, but he didn't have a ton of volume.
I mean, I would say that's a pretty good comp of like what could happen. Best case scenario, could Adonai Mitchell catch a long ball and take it to the house? Yes. The odds of that being this week, I don't know. But Alec Pierce is looking to be potentially out with that concussion, so maybe it's time. And that's like the ultimate scroll down on the Colts. I think Downs is an option though. Pittman's getting a lot of love, right?
It looks good. It looks really good, especially that touchdown last week. We've not seen Pittman scoring a lot of touchdowns. That gave a lot of believers, truthers, some relief.
Man, I can't get on the Colts this week. I think the Rams. So the Rams just lost an absolute heartbreaker to the Eagles. I think the Rams come out and we see Danny Dimes of the Giants this week. Unfortunately, I do really believe that. I mean, if we look here at, obviously we all love Jonathan Taylor, right? Jonathan Taylor has played 1 game against the Rams. He has ran for 51 yards, no touchdowns, and had 1 reception. Not great. Pittman, 2 games
was
played
Aaron
against
Donald
the Rams.
playing in that game?
I would imagine so, yes. Pittman has 2 games played against them. He is averaging 4.5 receptions a game, averaging 69 a game, no touchdowns. So not terrible. You'd love to see a touchdown on there, though. And then everyone else kind of hasn't really played them per se.
Right.
I don't know, man. It kind of feels like we're gonna see a bad game for the Colts.
I think that they just put out some good tape on how to beat them. Like, you just saw a run pass combo quarterback and Hurts deliver in the pass game, which we haven't seen until last week, right?
Hurts
like,
has Devontae Smith and AJ Brown to lean back on. Like, those are 2 really good wide receivers. Like, the
2 guys that were ghosts in week 1 and 2.
Have that.
2 guys that were ghosts in week 1 or 2. The only difference is the game flow. That was it. Like, you don't see that game flow regularly for the Eagles, where they have to play catch up, right? And they caught up. So I still think there's some good swing for the Colts, who have been great on offense through the first 3 games. They're going to be overdrafted. I think that's the strongest argument against them because of their popularity. Sure. But in this quarterback pool, I think you could get a friendly price on Dan Jones.
The Colts have been rolling on offense. They might be overdrafted. If people read into it, though, they might walk themselves back thinking this Los Angeles Rams defense is actually a very bad matchup for them. I don't really believe that, though. The Rams faced the Texans, who didn't score a touchdown in week 1, the Titans, enough said, and then they faced the Eagles, where it was a pretty close match, but we know the Eagles aren't a team airing it out and putting up a ton of pass yards. And they're more of kind of, ground and pound and keep the score low. So I think just the teams the Los Angeles Rams have played so far in their first 3 games is really skewing how we're looking at them versus just, I think the Colts have the ability to kind of break the mold. And when we see the Colts go up against this Rams defense, I think it's not going to really fall into line with like the prior weekly outputs the defense has been able to contain teams to. And so I think this is the week where the Colts can enforce their will and continue to keep their momentum going, regardless of the Rams having like dominated a lot of their competition and then barely losing to the Eagles.
No, I hear that, and that's a good point to mention on the schedule. That is pretty soft, from the opposing offenses. How many points have the Texans scored? It's like,
oh god,
it's like 16 or something, or what is it?
I had to pull it up, but
it's
they
pretty
didn't score
low.
a touchdown in week 1. It was 3 field goals, and then against the Bucks they put up 19. Against the Jags they put up 10. So I mean they're at 38 points through 3 weeks. They're averaging 13 points a week. It's pretty.
Shout out Fairbairn.
Shout out Kaimi. Shout out Kaimi. Holding it down.
He's doing all that.
You'll notice I swapped from my typical Texans hat tonight. I'm rocking my horns because there's some shame right now with what's going on with Nick Caserio and how he's managing this team.
I got some gear myself. Some NFC Player of the Week.
Oh, that's sick. That's a nice jersey.
No big deal. No big deal. I was gonna wear it. A little hot in here.
All right. What else do you guys want to look at here, team wise? Like we can go to the team total breakdown. Candyman, is there another team that you've been looking at that you want to draft, and maybe the sheet can tell you that you're correct, or maybe the sheet will give you some information that you're not necessarily thinking about on the forefront?
Yeah, I think I want to look more into, we talked about it earlier, but this Detroit matchup against Cleveland, because there's just so many fantasy friendly pieces to draft from the Lions. And so I think we need to dig into this. And I mean, the obvious, fade Montgomery, and, maybe it's not the best week for Gibbs, but you can't really fade Gibbs. He's just that guy. But, where else do we go? Is it a Laporta week? Is it going to be a Jameson Williams week or a Monra? And then is there any piece on the Cleveland Browns that we might want to target against the Detroit defense? So I'm kind of more interested to dig into that one.
Detroit. So when I look at this here, Jared Goff has played 1 game against the Browns. He had 268 passing yards, 2 total touchdowns, 14 rushing yards. Okay, respectable day, not exactly battle royale winning there. Jahmyr Gibbs has no games played against him, so this will be his first time. Monty has 1 game against him, which he totaled for 34 yards. Obviously, that was probably with the Bears, so take that for a grain of salt. Amon-Ra has played the Browns 1 time, had 4 receptions for 18 yards, no touchdowns. And again, take the sheet with a grain of salt, because scenarios are different, cases are different, year to year is different, right? But
right.
I mean, when you look at it, they haven't played very well. At least the players who have played against the Browns have not played very well against them. And the Browns, as we know, usually has pretty good defenses. It's just their offense that always sucks. So I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. Like I said, I will like Gibbs a lot this week, just because I think he's going to be a different running back for them to cover. The guys that they've covered now haven't really done what he can do in the passing down, work, the passing game. So I like Gibbs, and I know Amon-Ra had a pretty bad game against them. If gun to my head, if you were going to ask me which 2 guys you want to draft the most of from this team, I would probably take Gibbs and J-Mo. I think J-Mo, not getting the best coverage in this matchup, where it could be a little closer than people think. Shout out Browns beating the Packers last week.
Shout out to TD King. Shout out to TD King.
People probably thought I was crazy when I put that out.
I was one of those people. Candyman, were you there? Were you there, Candyman?
I caught y'all talking last week. I don't know if I caught that Browns over Green Bay takedown.
I hit him straight to the fucking curb. I tried to just curb stop that.
I was there. I was listening in because was that the only time in the episode where you ran the curve?
No, we did it another time.
No, I think it was the only.
No, Andrew. You gave out Luke Musgrave.
Oh, that's what it was. I heard that one.
Yeah.
Well, that was. Sorry. I realized Kraft was playing. I would have redacted that if Tucker Kraft.
Let's
At
keep
the time, it looked like he wasn't going to play.
Beat to the street, okay, Andrew? Let's keep a beat to the street, pal. Okay.
You know what? Let's not oversight that I did pick the Browns over the Packers. Let's just not oversight.
You can lose them all, buddy. You can lose them all, and that will still hold you above water.
So my son had a football game. He plays football on Sundays, and we went to a bar afterwards. And I was like, hey, like, because his game ends at 12:30. I'm like, we were like 45 minutes from the house. I'm like, let's just go to a bar and watch the games. So we're watching, and in the corner, there's the Browns game. It's just in the corner. No one's watching it. And I keep peeking over it. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, Packers are winning. And I'm like, oh, it's still close, third quarter. And I'm looking at the fourth quarter. And this is why I text you, Bruni, with the eyes, like, the Browns, like, huh, they're tied now. I'm like, this is interesting. And oh my God, I could not believe it. I'm like the only guy interested in this fucking Browns game that's in the corner. No one's watching it. And I'm like, yes. I'm like, oh my God, the Browns won. My wife's like, who cares about the Browns? I'm like, no one. Yeah. That's the point. I'm like, that's why it was awesome.
I thought for sure you were going to like expose yourself of just like going off on the sidelines, like crashing out in the most happiest way on the sidelines of your kids' football games. Like, what is dad doing?
No. Luckily, his game's over. Shout out to them though; they did absolutely crush their opponent. But here nor there, I think again, what we're learning from the sheet on this is that pick your poison though. Like Candyman, who do you want to draft from here? How are you approaching the lines?
I don't honestly know. I mean, in managed leagues, in your dynasty leagues, you're not going to bench Gibbs. Mm-hmm. But if we're drafting for this week, if we're setting lineups for just this week, I'm probably leaning. I mean, I think Gibbs is viable because he can catch passes, right? He's going to get work in that way. I'm leaning heavily towards JMO and Amon-Ra. The thing that I'm looking at is the Cleveland Browns opponents have scored 6 receiving touchdowns versus only 1 rushing touchdown. The Detroit Lions have scored 7 receiving touchdowns versus they've also gotten 6 rushing touchdowns. So they're much more balanced. But I think this Browns defense just kind of skews towards the pass game being more viable. And I do think that it is kind of a risky situation, though, where this could be a lower scoring event than what we've seen the Detroit Lions put up. So this could just be a matchup that kind of brings everyone down a little bit. But I think if you're going to do it, you want to do it through an explosive player like Amon-Ra or JMO, like you were saying.
Yeah, and like you're alluding to here. So here's the Lions information against wide receivers. They have allowed 34 wide receiver receptions. It's 11.3 per game, 474 yards, 158 receiving yards a game. And then that is wide receiver touchdowns, 4 allowed, which is 1.3 a game. So I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
Do we have data on the tight ends versus the Browns? Because that's what I'm kind of curious about too.
It's really all in the middle. It's like tight end and receiver, like the matchups are like in the middle of the league.
Okay.
For both of those guys upside wise, the running backs are in the basement. So comparatively, quarterbacks are like also like pretty low.
It's for both of them too, because the Lions defense is also pretty good against the run. They've given up 3 rushing touchdowns, but they're only allowing opponents to score or to run for about 99 rushing yards per game, which is kind of on the lower end. So
I do know though
Judkins getting a lot of hype, but this might not be the best matchup for him either necessarily. And then kind of going back to the idea that this might be a lower scoring game, and if we're touchdown hunting, it's going to be hard to figure out who that might be kind of in this situation. So I think I might just be I'm excited about what Quinshawn can do, but it might be a slightly avoid the Browns kind of week. And then for Detroit, like I was saying, pick your favorite pass catcher. And if that ends up being Laporta, I think that's also pretty viable. I just, I don't really have a great data point to like differentiate how he'd been doing. I know Kraft didn't do well last week, but that was more chalk it up to the injury, I think, than anything.
Yeah, if you want to look at the Browns data here, so again, versus wide receivers, 9.3 receptions a game, 362 yards, 4 receiving touchdowns through the year as well. So Browns have been, pretty good against wide receivers.
So I do have a path, I think, here for like a big day for everybody. And I think most like in this game overall, you want some random Browns. I don't think Jerry Jeudy's getting drafted a lot. Cedric Tillman catching random touchdowns. I would probably be off of Judkins because he's a popular click and all the points you just made about the Lions defense. But if you're looking at the board for quarterbacks this week, the Cowboys, the Dolphins, the Bears, the Ravens, and the Steelers, they're the top 5 teams to start or target for QB starts right now. 3 of those teams are off the board. The Cowboys, the Dolphins, and the Steelers. So if you bring in the next 3 teams, you have the Lions, the Commanders, and the Saints. The Lions are a great matchup right now for quarterbacks. We saw even Caleb Williams get some good production in a blowout, keeping things afloat for like your fantasy weekend. I think there might be some juice for Flacco in a dome in week 4, coming off a big win.
Whoa.
If Joe Flacco,
trying to tell me some Flacco on this slate?
Not necessarily, but that the passing offense for Cleveland would keep things a little bit more up pace to where they could get points, whether it's field goals or touchdowns, whatever, and maybe it gives us some better game flow. I don't know if you really want to dig into the Joe Flacco bags, but the Lions have been a good matchup for quarterbacks in fantasy through the first 3 weeks. Kind of like you mentioned, that heavy rush defense up front, really trying to get to the quarterback, really trying to stuff the run. It's leaving the secondary exposed a bit. And like I said, even when they blew out the Bears, Caleb was able to put up some points here. So I don't think Detroit blows them out, but if they get to a point where, the Browns get into a little bit of an F mode and they just start flinging things around, it could either help things out very early to get us to a good pace or just back up value at the end of the game.
You brought me back around a little bit on that. If the Cleveland Browns can avoid turnovers, they might be able to turn more of those drives that were negatives for them into scoring drives. So there is potentially, a path there.
Mm-hmm.
You can play both sides of it. You can say maybe it's a low scoring event. Maybe because everyone's avoiding him, you target him a little bit and hope that the Browns actually surprise. I mean, they just beat the Packers.
Why not the Lions? Where did that comment go? Who had Fannin for a scroll? So
Who Hames?
Yeah, Who Hames. So again, top 5 matchups for tight ends this week: Steelers, Seahawks, Lions, Dolphins, Bengals. 4 are off the board. The Lions are the only top 5 matchup right now for tight ends. And Njoku's banged up. I love Harold Fannin this week. Tipped my hand there, Who Hames. I was going to try to pull that in the draft, so wanted to stick that. If you go and dig deeper, because again, those 4 are off. The Steelers, the Seahawks, the Dolphins, Bengals, all off the slate. You get the Commanders, the Panthers, the Ravens, and the 49ers. So bumping up, Kyle Pitts, Hunter Henry, Kelsey, and Strange this week as well. Yeah, but love the Fannin pick. It's the analytics are there. The analytics are there.
We got the information here for defenses versus tight ends, and it's broken down by receptions, yards allowed, and then of course touchdowns as well. So information here. Is there any tight ends that you guys want to see some info
on? Any of those guys that I'd mentioned, like I said, Fannin, Pitts, Henry, Kelsey, Strange.
So and I'm sorry, Browns play.
The Browns play the Lions.
Yes, so Lions here. Lions are allowing, let's see, they have 17 receptions total on the year against the Lions. That is 164 yards, and any touchdowns against them? Yes, 3 allowed 3 receiving touchdowns, so the most.
So there are 3 tight ends I'm very curious about for this slate that are kind of the slate breakers from last week. The first one is going to be Hunter Henry of the Patriots against the Carolina Panthers.
Great.
The next one I'm interested in is Dalton Kincaid, who was in a primetime game last week, but this week he's playing against the New Orleans Saints. And then last but not least, the big breakout game of the season for Mark Andrews and the Baltimore Ravens. They're going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think those 3 tight ends are guys we need to look into and see if this matchup could be a spot for them to continue the building off of their last week where they really, broke slates.
If you're looking at Hunter Henry, who plays the Panthers are currently ranked 8th worst. They are allowing 18 receptions. They have allowed 18 receptions. They have allowed 222 yards, which is worst. And then they have one current tight end receiving touchdown allowed as well. So overall, they are not very good against tight ends.
The 7th most fantasy points allowed to tight ends, the Carolina Panthers right now.
And then you said,
I like that.
Who'd you say second?
You take the top 4 off the board, though. So if you look at the board with our slate, they're really number 3, the 3rd best matchup for a tight end.
I think Hunter Henry's another target. Even taking him naked, right? But
yeah, agreed. I like Drake May though. Like Drake May, like you look at his production last 3 weeks, like it's there. The rushing upside, he's got 70+ yards in the last 2 weeks. He's got 5 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. Like I think we're good. I think he's a safe click right now.
I got burned a little bit. I think it was week 1. No,
probably.
Actually, it was probably week 2. Hartman and I tried a Drake May Hunter Henry stack in week 2, and it didn't pay off. But that
was just a Henry side. Like May was fine in week 2 for. I mean, like
it was Henry side that we should have played naked May, but keep trying it because then we see Henry pop off last week, and so I think you just kind of it's a combo that could work any given week going forward. We just need to figure out if there's any edge on a certain week to playing that combo.
We got to look at their snaps. Actually, I might pull that up as we kind of move on, just because I want to look at the comparison of like Hunter Henry snaps versus the spread of the receivers, because the receivers are getting really cut up. Like Stephon Diggs is not playing enough. He's getting a ton of action on a per snap rate, but he's not playing enough snaps. So I want to pull this up here really quick because I know that these will be out now. So, but you guys, go ahead.
I know that there's a lot of it's a very fragmented target share pie chart for the Patriots, and so that makes it tough to figure out for fantasy. But maybe Hunter Henry can be that guy who consolidates the targets and the snaps from the tight end position at least. The other tight end I was interested in was Dalton Kincaid against the Saints this week. I thought that could be an interesting one to look into further.
So the Saints right now have allowed 16 receptions, 155 yards, and 1 touchdown. So they're
a little bit more stingy.
Yeah, that's about middle of the pack. And then you said Mark Andrews, correct?
Yeah, Mark Andrews against the Chiefs.
So the Chiefs, I think, are pretty good. Yeah, so the Chiefs.
Yeah, I was currently say that's one where they know each other too. There's a lot of iron versus iron there, right? Like they know each other. That's a game maybe I might even lean to the under just because it's going to be a lot of defense. I feel like even though the Ravens defense has been complete shit. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I have a caveat. I have a big asterisk because I just like, who have the Chiefs played? The Chiefs played the Chargers in week 1
in Brazil.
I mean, who's their top tight end? No one knows.
Disley,
they played
maybe.
The Eagles in week 2 with Goddard out, and then they played the Giants in week 3, who literally have the worst tight end room in the league. So maybe it's just been
poor Theo. He had Russell Wilson.
I'm out.
Ouch, poor Theo.
It's like Shark Tank. For those reasons, I'm out. No, it's
he said, and this
Chiefs are actually kind of more of a ambiguous. Like we're not actually sure how tight ends will do against them because they've had three pretty cake matchups for tight ends.
So here, and I'm glad Mike Rob put it in the chat, but
I don't know.
The Chiefs so far this year, and we're going to go look at Mark Andrews, but the Chiefs right now have allowed 8 receptions for a measly 102 yards and no touchdowns.
Look at last week. Mark Andrews was nobody week 1 or 2. He was
let's go look at Mark Andrews versus the Chiefs.
I would love, I'm super curious. And then also, I wonder the current ADP and like expected ownership of Mark Andrews. If people are chasing last week's outcome,
don't do it.
Here, Underdog current ADP 44, which gives him positional 8 ADP for tight ends. Mark Andrews in the 5 games versus Kansas City, 13 receptions, which is 2.6 a game, 108 yards, averaging 21.6, no touchdowns.
Oh, geez.
That is really bad.
Do you co-sign now?
Holy shit. I didn't realize it was that bad either. I won't lie to you. Like, if you would have said, hey, how many touchdowns did Mark Andrews have versus the Chiefs? I probably would have said, I don't know, maybe 2. He has none.
7?
Damn. That's rough.
That's
all
rough.
Right. So we're in on Hunter Henry as a premium target at tight end.
That's a good week. Yeah, that's a good one.
I ran the snaps. He's playing more snaps than any receiver, period.
Yeah, do right. Like who?
So
Like,
what does that make him to you as like a fantasy target? I mean, he should be more important than Demario Douglas. Honestly, got to say it. Stephon Diggs, until Stephon Diggs gets like 80% snap share, like if there's a legitimate flex question, like the lean would go to Hunter Henry.
So here's another thing. In this slate, we've got Brock Bowers, who's still a bit banged up. We don't have Trey McBride. We don't have Tucker Kraft. We don't have Ferguson, who's been on a real heater with targets and receptions lately. Now with
no touchdowns,
CeeDee
no
Lamb out,
touchdowns.
he could be even like a greater part of the Cowboys offense. So to me, in this slate, firing from the hip, Hunter Henry has to be a top 3 tight end.
He's my it's to me my top 3 are Fannin, Henry, and Kelsey. No particular order. They've got good matchups. Kelsey's still can score a touchdown. This is a guy that is gritty when he plays up against the better teams. He tends to show up actually. Henry, soft matchup. I like Kyle Pitts and Strange as well. You kind of turned me on to Dalton Kincaid though. I might have to get Kincaid because like the numbers for the Saints are so middled. They're like right in the middle of everything. So nothing like really pops off the page. But I think if you're looking at that offense, like you may want to convince yourself to get an Allen and Kincaid stack because what can you really trust right now? I mean, by all means, it could be a Keon Coleman game. Josh Palmer played well through 2 games, had a really bad week 3. This offense doesn't really have a rhyme or rhythm here. And kind of the big reason why I want to push off of Allen this week is because of the high exposure. And we need him to score 4 touchdowns. Like we need him to legit like hit full ceiling still.
Let me throw a guy out to you. Like, so when I look for a tight end, if I don't grab a top one and I need a guy late, I'm looking at situation and targets, right? What about a guy that just came off his season best effort? He had 7 targets, 61 yards on 6 receptions, no touchdowns. A few of these wide receivers on this team just got banged up, and they are playing the San Francisco 49ers, who aren't terrible against tight ends, currently 15 receptions for 114 yards, but have allowed 2 touchdowns, which is, again, one
Who
of the
is
top
it?
here. It's Brenton Strange.
Yeah, I just said that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Like Brenton Strange.
Like I said, those top 4 teams are off the board. So he is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th best matchup. 49ers, very bad up against tight end so far. They're about 9th worst, but 4 teams are off the board, so that helps.
Yeah, Strange.
One player we haven't talked about yet, and I'm kind of surprised we haven't. We've been talking so in depth about tight ends. Jawan Johnson.
Yeah, he's. Buffalo has been pretty good. Let's just look here. 5 receptions for 32 yards, and then you go up here. They have allowed 1 touchdown, so pretty much 3 receptions for 5 receptions for 32 yards and a touchdown so far.
I think we might need to look further into it because in a similar way, I was like bailing out the Chiefs schedule against tight ends. For the Bills schedule against tight ends, they played the Ravens in week 1. And for some reason, Mark Andrews just wasn't really involved, even though it was a high scoring game, 41-40. Then the Bills played the Jets in week 2. The Jets don't really have like a de facto tight end. We hope Mason Taylor comes on, but it wasn't a big passing output by them. And Fields got concussed. They only put up 10 points, the Jets. Then the Dolphins in week 3, who I can't even name a Dolphins tight end. It's not Darren Waller. So I think we need to look deeper into it and figure out, like, is this actually a minus matchup for Jawan? Because I think he might still be going underdrafted.
That's fair. And I think that's where you get the most value is that, he's just not going to get drafted. So his 5 catches for maybe 60 to 70 yards could be really valuable. But no matter what, he's got to find pay dirt this week. And my worry for Saints in week 4 is we're packing it in the 3rd quarter and we're getting the reserves in, because this could be one of those games where the Bills just absolutely blow them out. I don't think that the Saints are going to stick around in this one. If they can get some game flow going early, get a good script, and even get up, that would be better for us, for our Bills. But we could also see a similar thing where, we get James Cook. Maybe he has a pretty good week. I think it's still a good matchup for him, where he does well. And then we're middling, everybody else, like who's passing the ball, because this doesn't feel like a week that the Bills have to really throttle the playbook or the game script. They don't have to go fast pace.
The thing you like with Juwan Johnson is targets. I mean, he's just being targeted as much as he can handle. He has 19 on the year, which is absolutely incredible for a tight end. He has one game played against Buffalo, has no stats, so it could have been a he got hurt game and got out of it. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a wild card with Juwan Johnson, but again, the thing you look at is his targets. I mean, and that's what you want. I think as a guy that you're going to take in the last round as a tight end is just targets, opportunity. So I'm okay with Juwan Johnson. I'm not like going to expect a ton out of him. I feel like, you do hope that maybe he finds pay dirt and that pays off for you. But yeah, wild card Juwan Johnson this week.
Good work. Can't hate it. The Bills, the Ravens and the Bills put up a lot of points in week 1. That might skew the data. But what I'm looking at is the Buffalo Bills opponents have scored 9 total touchdowns this season, which the league average is around 7.5. They've allowed 5 passing touchdowns. The league average is about 4.5. And so there's just a slight, and I know that the Kellen Moore offense and the Saints, it's one of the fastest pace offenses in the entire league. They're throwing the ball, they're running more plays than almost every other team. And so maybe there's just some opportunity. And if Juwan Johnson even is kind of volume dependent, but is this a plus scoring matchup against the Bills? And then is that volume there to keep Juwan Johnson having a high floor, but then also maybe a little bit more ceiling with some touchdown? So I want to keep him in the back pocket too. I think if he's going undrafted, he could be a nice play.
Yep. Okay. What else do you guys want to look at here on a team breakdown aspect? Any other teams that you're looking at here, or players that you want to look at a little bit?
I think Bears Raiders has a lot of juice when you're looking at matchups. Both good matchups for the quarterbacks, Raiders and Bears, both doing their part. Ravens as well. I think it's a great week for Mahomes. He's a nice scroll down, but that Bears Raiders game I think is going to be interesting.
So on the Bears side, not a lot of data here. DJ Moore has 2 games played against the Raiders. He's averaging 6 receptions a game, 54 yards a game, no touchdowns. That's pretty much it. Everyone else is a rookie and or hasn't played. And then on the Raiders side of this here, right there, we got Geno Smith, the journeyman, has played the Bears twice, averaging 238 yards a game, 1 passing touchdown throughout. So not exactly what you're looking for there. 39 total rushing yards. You got Jacoby Myers, played the Bears 2 times, averaging 4.5 receptions per game, 42 yards a game, and does have a touchdown in each of those games. So Jacoby Myers, interesting. And then Trey Tucker has played him once, 2 receptions, 16 yards, no touchdowns. But obviously, we all know Trey Tucker is the epitome or boom or bust. So, take your shots there, I think, in the 12-person. I don't think that you really want to take the shot in the 6-mans, to be honest, with Trey Tucker. But
So the Bears and Raiders are 3rd and 4th for most fantasy points allowed to receivers. So they have the juice in this one. I'm with you with Tucker, but I also lend to favor of maybe jumping on Tyquan Thornton. Or not Tyquan Thornton.
Trey Tucker.
Dante Thornton.
Dante Thornton, thank you. Getting my Thorntons mixed up. I had both of those guys rostered on the same team last week in a redraft league. I think that may have even been your league, Andrew. I'm not 100%.
Oh, very fun.
I
like this call. I think this is a plus matchup. It can be a shootout. It could be really fun. Both defenses can allow some scoring above what these offenses have been producing kind of week in, week out against all the other opponents. I'm in on Rome Odunze. How can you not be? I don't want to full fade DJ Moore. I think he's just a touchdown away from being relevant. And then on the Raiders side, I love Jacoby Myers. I think, yes, we just saw the biggest Trey Tucker week of all time. Don't chase that. Let's play smart. Let's get some Jacoby Myers. And then Brock Bowers, you can't deny that guy either. But he's also obviously playing through some injuries. It's a little bit, he's not full strength, but he might still be good enough. But Myers, he's a target hog, and I think he has some real upside. If Trey Tucker can do what he just did, I hope we can get a ceiling outcome similar to that Maybe not quite as high, but something close from Jacoby Myers, sometime soon too.
I'm into Geno and Jacoby this week. I really like that stack. No Jalen Johnson still. This Bears secondary has been terrible.
That's true too.
They're also top 3 matchup for quarterbacks in fantasy. They're the 3rd best matchup right now for QBs. Raiders aren't as high, but they're up there as well. So I think Caleb also coming off a great game, NFC Offensive Player of the Week, obviously a big deal. The Bears offense was able to bounce back. If they can continue to make pace, if they can still be the Bears from week 3, the Bears that toppled the Bills in the preseason by like 1 billion points. Like if they can be this like really well scripted, well fine-tuned machine, it could be fireworks in that matchup again this week. This is what we were running for. Like this week 3 was the Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, Bears offense that we were all betting on in best ball all summer. If the engine keeps rolling and the wheels keep us afloat, I don't know. We could be onto something big here in week 4 in this matchup.
So Dylan just wanted to know in the chat here. He said, "Do you think Purdy plays Sunday? It could be a good, pick with Pearsall and backstack Strange on that. Do you guys think Purdy plays? I think he has a good shot to.
Yeah, no, I think he plays, and I love me some white boy Rick, and give me some Strange bring back. But I'm gonna probably stay off of them, other than maybe CMC still this week. Identity offense, the guy that you can trust to get you those 25 plus touches. I'm still going to try to just stay with CMC and maybe see Brock through a week.
So, Mac Jones is day-to-day with a knee issue. That came up 2 days ago, that kind of news. And then today, the update from head coach Kyle Shanahan was that the Mac Jones knee is still limited in practice today. Brock Purdy was limited with his shoulder and his toe. But on the progress of Brock Purdy, it's looking good with his toe. That was the comment we got. So this is kind of interesting because do we see Brock Purdy play this week? Maybe. I don't know that I've gotten the right signal yet to affirm that, but it seems like Mac Jones is actually questionable too.
Would you draft Purdy today though? I think like because we're about to draft,
that I can late swap him. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
In the right stack, right?
And then what you want to build
or with Jawan Jennings or with actually Jawan Jennings is questionable. I guess with Rome and or McCaffrey, then yes, then you late swap. And the thing that scares me about late swapping sometimes is what if he actually goes, but then is just like so ineffective and injured that you can't swap him, but he actually doesn't hit.
That's really my concern. Jaguars are a good matchup. Don't get me wrong, but I think I think their best matchup is still on the ground. I know that they've looked decent the past couple of weeks, but I think that CMC can tear them up in week 4 and easing back in Purdy if he is healthy. I don't think they need to ask him to overdo it, to really be the guy to push them to win this game. I think they can still sneak out a win and, not really need him to pass the ball more than 25, 30 times.
Kind of a sneaky good Jacksonville defense. I don't know if that speaks more to their opponents being terrible, the Texans, or if it just is like, the way they've started the season hot. Mm-hmm. I do think that Christian McCaffrey has the ability to neutralize defenses, so I don't think it really matters for drafting him.
Well, I think honestly right now the Jags' worst asset on defense is their offense because they just keep throwing the defense back on the field. And that will wear down on you as the season goes on. So that offense really needs to get it together. Talk about not having an identity. They have a great run game, and they can't even pick which guy they want to be the lead dog. I mean, obviously Etienne's carrying the ball a lot, but Bashal Tutin still getting touchdowns, still getting valuable touches. This is the best thing that this team is doing right now is running the ball. I mean, I think week 3
they can't pass for any. I mean, the Jaguars are one of the worst. Not one. I mean, I don't know. Are they one of the worst passing offenses? They're pretty close.
Well, they had a good week against the Bengals, I think. So that helps.
Yeah.
Lawrence had a multi-touchdown game, but he also threw an interception in the game. I just don't trust it. If you can't get the ball in your best player's hands, like if Brian Thomas is your number 2 guy, like you had to trade up and give up that much for him for him to do so little on both sides of the ball, it makes no sense whatsoever. And the dropping the bag with Brian Thomas Jr. right now, like this is like, what are we witnessing right now? This is insane. If De'Ami Brown's out, maybe he can finally get some love. I think he might fucking cut his brakes or something.
Jesus.
It might happen. I mean,
okay. Anything else you guys want to look at, or should we just get into some drafts here and just kind of talk through it as we go?
I'm ready to tickle some buttons.
All right.
Let's rip a draft.
Sounds good. Let me pull the wonderful sheet again. Thank you, Mike Raub, for the sheet. If anybody wants that, hit up Mike Raub. I'm sure he would be willing to sell it to you for the short price of $9.99. I don't want to put a price tag on it for him, but nothing in this world is for free outside of the Fanspeak show for you guys and Candyman show. All right. Let me pull up a good old Underdog here for the people. Get rid of this screen. Open the screen here. Okay, Underdog. As always, we will be hitting into the Battle Royale streets. 50K once again up top. Underdog just doing the Lord's work, trying to change people's lives 1 week at a time. We got 64,308 entrants in the slate this week. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games on the slate. Oh, it's beautiful. I absolutely love it. Again, if you guys want to get in with us, again, this is the $7 entry Battle Royale. Gentlemen, how do you want to do this? Candyman, do you want to draft with one of us, and or do you want to just try to get in with us?
I want to draft with. Let's do a little brain melting here and ship this thing.
I love it. All right. As we did last week, you get to choose. Who would you like to draft with? And you can't be neutral, so you have to pick one.
All right, let's go, Andrew. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah, suck it, Bruni.
I'm okay. I'm a free thinker. I don't have anyone holding me back.
He only picked that because I'm the one with it up on the board. I already know. It's fine. It's all good. All right, everyone. Bruni, are you ready?
I'm stealing all the good players.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Here we go. Count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Entering now. Oh, fuck, Bruni. Did you get in? If not, draft starting soon.
It says 2 more to start.
Okay, then I'm assuming no, maybe?
1 more to start. Draft starting soon.
Yeah, I'm going to say no. Let me pull it up here and just see what it looks like here.
Well, you just had a monologue. I don't think I'm in with Mike.
All right, so you and Mike. All right, Candyman. You and I just drafting versus the field here. Do you know? Let's see. Do we know anybody here?
No. This guy, I swear. There's FK coolers in mine too.
He said too many. There's too many.
The overflow strikes again.
All right, Candyman. On the second spot here, who do you want to take? Assuming CMC goes, do you want to take Taylor? Bijan could be interesting as well, or we could just go for the smash play of James Cook.
Yeah, let's go JT. Let's just straight down the barrel take JT. The guy's been killing it, right? This guy's overperforming for where we were drafting him during the summer, but I mean, right in line with what we should have been expecting all along. So that's kind of our fault for making. I mean, people were saying all summer long, Jonathan Taylor, a 2nd round pick. You can get Jonathan Taylor at 15 overall. You can get him at pick 20 overall. What's going on? And I think, maybe he would have been a better pick than Brian Thomas Jr. at this point.
Yeah, it is it is kind of showing that. And I think in that grouping that he was in as well, the Chase Browns, the Bucky Irvings, the Josh Jacobs, he is clearly the best out of all those guys. I think him and Josh Jacobs pretty similar backs, kind of. I mean, Josh Jacobs not near as explosive as Jonathan Taylor anymore. And Bucky, I do really like Bucky, especially for the fantasy playoffs. Bucky might be the best one out of that group. Chase Brown clearly well behind them, and again, not even really his fault. Mr. Joe Burrow going down absolutely has demolished Chase Brown and what his opportunities would have looked like versus what they do look like right now. So that blows. All right, we are up next. Do you want to take Lamar, Henry? You want to switch over to Bowers, or do we want to look at a wide receiver here?
I was really hoping to get a Monra. The odds that he'd fall to us weren't great, but it would have been fun. I'm looking here at Hampton.
How far are you pulling him up?
Because I
He
think
is
I'm cool
15,
with I'm cool with
so
like Odunze with as our first wide receiver. I'm cool with Bowers with our next pick.
I mean, you could take Adams and go the game stack route as well.
Yeah, not a bad out there. So I think we want to hammer these running backs and get 2 really strong guys on this slate.
All right, let's take Hampton.
Yeah,
Feels so dirty taking Hampton over Derrick Henry.
I almost did it. Over Gibbs too. But I did take Josh Allen in this one. I'll take the high end QB in this one without y'all. I have Bijan and Josh Allen to start.
Okay,
nice.
Yeah, you can't argue with.
Kelly pointing out you think Jay Taylor much better than BTJ.
Kelly,
Kelly,
you needed to remind me that about 4 months ago. You're too late, brother.
I think I have like one share.
Candyman,
shares of BTJ.
What do you want to do here? You want to go
we
Bowers?
just did all this research on late tight end. Let's park it on tight end. Let's go the opposite way and get a Dunze here, unless you feel so strongly about Hurts just being the guy you need. But I'm cool with the Dunze.
No, I'm fine. Yeah, Dunze or Adams would have been a good pick there for me. I also don't mind Egbuka just because I think that Tampa Bay is going to have to pass the ball a boatload in this game.
Sure.
No Mike Evans anymore either. So
and maybe Godwin's back, but I mean, is he going to be
that's
full
true.
strength? Probably
yeah,
not.
I was going to say is like I think Egbuka is going to get as many targets as he can handle. We might see him with a 13 to 15 target day. To be fully honest with you, that's probably going to what is how it's going to end up being.
I'm about to get sniped by Mike Raub. Pretty sure he's going to take Hampton at 16.
Bruni, what does your team look like so far?
I have Bijan and Josh Allen. I'm about to make my next pick. Mike Raub is on the clock. Let's see if he snipes me. I mean, all this talk, I got to imagine he does it. He has Derrick Henry and Puka so far, so also a good start.
Dylan says he just got Hampton at 21.
Yeah, I mean, his ADP is 15, so it's not crazy for him to fall.
I mean, I don't know.
In these small of fields, it's more about having the guy on your team than where you get him an ADP. There's no real ADP value.
I have now Josh Allen, Bijan, and Hampton. Mike went with Jalen Hurts, so he went Hurts, Henry, Nakua. It's not bad still.
Okay, no, that's a good start. All right, Candyman, we are up in 2 here. What do you want to do? You want to try to take? I mean, Caleb's down there. Are we stacking Odunze, or do we feel like we not need to do that?
No, I think stacking. I think stacking him with Caleb would be sweet, but I would still take Hurts over Caleb. Adams being there would be fun, and then the other option I like is kind of like Pearsall there, but I'm now a little bit skeptical about the QB situation. So,
okay, well, we'll see here how this plays out.
Is Herbert a bridge too far to take him with Hampton and just bet on that? Them just racking up points.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like how many points do you think that they would need to? Okay, do you just want to take Hurt since he's now fallen? He's fallen a whole round later.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I think they can put up some numbers against Tampa Bay. I don't see Tampa Bay as being a huge threat to his.
Yeah, the defense has actually been pretty okay though. I mean, they didn't look great. I think in special teams last week. I mean, 2 blocked field goals. I think is obviously going to keep any team in the game.
The thing that I think
the defense has been pretty solid.
I think honestly the thing that might hurts the most is if Barkley has one of those generational games. If Barkley just goes off against the Bucs, that obviously sucks for Hurts. So I'm not really worried about the matchup. I'm more or less worried about his teammate and Barkley just having an absolutely blow up game.
I think when I take Hurts, I'm not so focused on stacking him. I just want the best play that could potentially win the slate. So like I don't think we need to force Goddard. We don't need to force Smith.
Nope.
Yeah.
Agree. 100% agree. I love when I know that I have a rushing quarterback that immediately makes me think I don't need to stack this guy. Perla says that she got a team with Bijan and Cook. Let's go.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's a great tandem there. All right. Do you want to take Henry? We have Warren, or we can take a wide receiver here. I mean, I know you really like Hunter Henry. Do you just want to take it, or do we take the value of Warren?
I'd have to look at the board. We have if anyone in the house needs a tight end in between us, but there's gonna be so many receivers available. Let's take Hunter Henry because we feel so good about it.
Okay,
and then we can have more time to think about that last receiver.
Okay. So when we look at, look at receivers here, we got Let's see. We got 8 picks, but the guys left right now: Flowers, McConkey, Pearsall, Drake London, Keenan Allen, QJ, Tet McMillan, Debo. How the mighty have fallen. Brian Thomas way down here. Jacoby Myers, Smith, Pittman. I feel like we're getting JMO is down here. Jameson Williams is down there.
Both of my receivers are going to be pretty big scroll downs.
What are you feeling? Obviously, there's guys down here. I mean, you can really scroll down Hunter, Travis Hunter, and all those guys. What are you thinking here?
Is Ladd still available?
Currently, yes, we are up in 4 picks, so
Let's take one of Ladd or Keenan.
I took
Ladd or Keenan. Okay.
Or no, Quentin Johnson's still there too. I mean, we have we can choose any of these receivers. Like, let's do like a coin flip, either Ladd, Keenan, or Quentin Johnston. I think one of these guys.
Well, don't take QJ because I took him in my draft. You guys are screwed. So take one of the other two.
And we're making a big bet that the Chargers put up numbers against the Giants, which I think will happen.
By the way, just so everyone knows, QJ has outpaced all the other receivers in yards every game so far. So,
yeah, that's where it's really hard to know where to go on that one. Keenan Allen's looking good, right? And then QJ's been the guy so far. Ladd, we just believe in. I don't think it's too far to go to have both Hampton and a receiver on the Chargers.
Well, we are up. We got 22 seconds left. Who do you want? Which one?
It's still a great matchup. It's not like the Giants.
The brain says QJ. Right, the heart says McConkey, and I don't know.
5 seconds.
Sounds like you guys make a pick.
I need a tie break. Andrew, you got a tie break. Pick one.
Oh my God! Look, we're taking Ladd. One of these times,
I like it.
He's going off one of these times. Let's hope it's now. I mean, if Ladd goes off this week, you aren't getting him in the 6th round again. That's just not happening. Let's just take we're being blessed to be able to get Ladd McConkey in the 6th round. He has his blow up game.
I think the way we go, we never see him again. They're also complementary of each other. I don't think you're really going to see any of them run up the board because even if he does have a good week this week, matchups will change. Depth charts on defense on the opponent are going to change. Like there's going to be a lot of different stuff.
Noah in the chat is asking Chuba or Hall this week and rest of season.
I'd still go Hall. I think Fields will be back.
Candyman? Chuba
so the Jets are playing one of those primetime games, aren't they? They're on the Monday night against Miami. That seems like a pretty good spot to be in.
Target Miami, dude. Target Miami.
Yeah, I think versus the Panthers, who we talked about going up against New England. Let me do a quick look at my New England defense stats just to get one more kind of view on that.
The Dolphins are allowing the 5th most fantasy points per game to running backs. The Patriots didn't make the top 5 or 7. So they might be up there still.
No, the Patriots defense is good against the run game for sure. I would say, yeah, this is obvious to go with Brees. And then rest of season, you have to kind of hope Brees, but it probably is pretty close.
There you have it. Also, FK Cooler says QJ versus Ladd was a last second choice. What happened to the game I love?
Yeah,
analytics.
We're down bad.
Yeah, just that's why I said
I love this team though. I love the way this team came out.
The Chargers are fun to watch.
They are
fun to watch.
So fun.
What were they doing week 1 in Brazil? They had that fullback, that lineman running in motion and just crushing dudes off the snap. Did you guys remember? I haven't seen that since. That was amazing. I remember watching that and going like, dude, that is a hardball move if I've ever seen it, dude. Like, oh my God.
Harbaugh is a football guy. He just loves football, and he's making it fun for the team. He really is.
I want to see that stuff again. Get the fullback, a tackle in motion, and just crushing a dude, just popping him off the snap. Just
was amazing. That a Friday game?
It was, yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was okay. Yeah, it's all coming back.
It was in Brazil, South Paulo.
That was the Overzet pregame YouTube.
Exactly. Wow,
yeah,
fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, shout out Overzet.
The way they paid him enough to be on there.
Nah, I know. How awesome was that for him? All right, so Candyman, our team ended up being Jalen Hurts, Jonathan Taylor, Amarian Hampton, Roma Dunze, Ladd McConkey, and Hunter Henry. I mean, again, we're in the economy where we're taking Hunter Henry over Ladd McConkey in these drafts. Just a wild time to be alive over here.
So
Jesus.
I finished with Josh Allen, Bijan Robinson, not a bad start. Amarian Hampton, QJ, Quentin Johnston, Jacoby Myers, Dalton Kincaid. Pure scrolls, the last 3 picks. Pure scrolls.
So what your QJ is a slight scroll, your Myers is a slight scroll. Are you saying Kincaid is a scroll in this slate too?
Brother, I pulled him off the board 9 picks.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I like that because
Myers was only
I like each of those guys' matchups here, and then you're getting them, and you can kind of control your ability to put them on your squad too. It's not like you have to wait for them to, they fell to me at ADP. It's like, just go get your guys.
Yeah, exactly. QJ was only 4 picks. Myers was only 2 picks. So like not crazy scrolls, but scrolls nonetheless. And Kincaid, was the biggest one at 9 picks.
When I play these, I like to think of it in like tiers as well. So like to me, ADP doesn't really matter. I just think of like who's been drafted, what tier is available. Do I want to take a tier 1 receiver or a tier 1 running back? Oh, all of the tier 1 and 2 running backs are gone. I guess I'm really, punting running back. Those kind of considerations are going through my head when I'm drafting these weekly slates. Versus ADP, it's like, you'll see people get some really weird things, and maybe you have to get lucky and say like, oh, I got Bijan and James Cook. Like, how that's probably pretty rare. Like, what a nice pairing. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to which players score touchdowns, and it's not always going to be the guys at the top of the ADP scoring any given week. So there's like, there's so many different factors going into it. You kind of just want to, I think if you're going to draft a lot of these, you want to spread your bets around. If you're drafting a few of these, get your guys and just no ball.
All right, let's get ourselves into another one. Bruni, are you ready this time?
I was ready.
Okay, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Entering. Draft starting soon. Oh my God.
4.
Here, hold on. I'll enter another one. Okay, we're gonna double it up.
You're gonna triple draft
it up. Let's do it, baby.
Are you actually in this one? You
Bruni
are
right there.
Yeah, and you had to jump ahead of me.
Look at that. Okay, so
Mike is in this one too because you're
the one that we are in with Bruni. We are again number 2. Bruni's 3, Mike Raub 4. In our other one, we are 6. So we're gonna be double timing it here, brother. All right,
I'm ready.
Let's fucking do it. Oh, I can just feel it. The dopamine hit of drafting 2 at one time on stream while talking is about to just overload me. I absolutely love it. This is like when I was drafting 4 Badge Bros Brawl at a time. Like just drafting 4 or 5 of those at a time.
What was that? What were you
the Badge Brawls, bro.
The
The triple B.
Ding dong.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see here. We got 2. You want to switch it up this time and take like James Cook? You want to go Bijan? You want to stick with JT?
Yeah, go JT again. We're getting more exposure into him, and we're gonna build a slightly different team. Oh, wait a second, McCaffrey is there.
Josh Allen.
Fuck, dude, I just clicked it because you were talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy.
Money.
There you go, Bruni.
No,
there you go.
Is this your first time multi-tabling? What's going on here?
But you just said it, and I was like, okay, cool. I clicked it and never even looked at who they took. I was not assuming that Josh Allen was going to go there.
Hey, in this draft, in this universe, the Jacksonville defense is actually who they have been and not who we thought they were.
Perla is in with us at 5 as well, right here behind Mike. Yeah. Let's go, Perla. Let's go. Yeah, what Bruni said.
You remember. This person's been with us before.
Oh, you were reading her name. That's right. We couldn't figure out how to say it exactly correctly.
No, I did figure out how to say it.
She said
I said it right. That's right. Yeah, just get in line.
All right, so let's see. We got 2. Oh man, we're gonna be doubling up here. So what do you want to do? 6, 7 here.
6, 7.
Let's
go.
You sound like my kid.
All right.
Go.
I didn't hang out with PPR Tyler too much. Let's do.
Oh, you want to go like Barkley Gibbs or Barkley Amonra? Or Gibbs? No, I don't want to do Gibbs and Amonra. Never mind. Josh Allen, Barkley.
Let's do Barkley at least. And then I'm kind of thinking Amon-Ra here.
You want to take Amon-Ra here?
Or should we just go Gibbs? Because can you get Gibbs and Saquon together most weeks? Kind of, right? But
yeah, you know what? Let's do it. I love it. All right, well, we are up
Gibbs
again.
and CMC in this draft.
We are up again. We have 17 seconds left. This is our Taylor draft. So we have Taylor. Amon-Ra still there, or Derrick Henry?
Amon-Ra. Easy
Amon-Ra now.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Oh yeah, hell yeah, baby. All right, and we are going to be up again here in 2 picks on our Amon-Ra and Taylor team. So, all right, Derrick Henry. I was going to say maybe talking to Derrick Henry. All right, so we are up. We got Nico, Neighbors, Odunze, Adams, Aguga. Yeah, so he went too.
I don't know if this is going to be a good spot for Neighbors because of the quarterback change, and it's just I'm still a big fan of Nico.
We got 7 seconds.
Let's go Nico here and have some faith that he can be the guy that we all thought he could be.
Okay, I like it. Hey, they can't hold him down forever, all right? That's the way I look at it.
It only takes one play with him.
That's right. And we saw it. We saw at the beginning of last game, he scored a touchdown. And then
2 games.
Yeah, and then they just after that, they're like, oh God, we got him a touchdown. We don't have to do anything else with him. It's like, the fuck are you guys doing?
He has 20 targets. He has 20 targets in the last 2 games. What are you talking about?
Pass it to him more. Look, who else do they have on that team? It's criminal that man doesn't have 30.
There's a defense they play against, brother. I don't know. They're not good right now.
They should be targeting the absolute piss out of him.
I think his numbers are pretty good for how bad the team is.
They should be better. They got nobody else there. I mean, now Kirk is back, sure, but they didn't. Fuck are we doing?
I don't know, man. He's averaging 70 receiving yards and a touchdown a game the last 2 weeks. That's
more.
Really good.
More.
Okay, pal.
We need more.
Feed.
Okay, buddy.
All right. So we are up here with our Taylor, Amon-Ra, Nico team. We are going to be up next. We do Bucky sitting there, Kyron sitting there. We could take.
I like Bucky. Let me just do one last check here if we have enough time. On this Bucky, matchup with
Flowers,
the Eagles.
Kyron.
I'm cool with this here. Let's go ahead and take Bucky. I think it's a smash spot for him. I think it's fine.
Let's go. All right, and then we're going to be working double time here because both of our picks are going to be up in 2.
So on that squad, though, we're looking for QBs and tight ends exclusively. So let's filter for those, and then we can pop over to the other one where we have our next pick up, and let's go ahead and make that pick.
All right, so we're going to take. Let's see here.
And
so we have Barkley Gibbs.
Oh yeah, I know where we're at. So it's either Odunze if he's there. If not, I think we do go Adams. Yeah.
Okay, so Odunze or Adams. I like that. All right. Odunze is there, so I assume just Odunze?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, 10-4. And then we have another pick as well. So do you want to take Adams too? Just Odunze Adams?
I think that's fine. I think that's a good way. I think we can do that. Yeah.
All right. Well, then we're gonna let that one go here. We need to pick our tight end and quarterback. Hunter Henry again. We got 2 seconds.
Kincaid.
Oh, okay.
No, it's fine. Henry's fine. Henry's totally fine there. I'm good with it.
And then this one just has the Adams portion. Oh yeah, I already started. So
go to the team that just took Henry real quick. I just wanted to peer over the existing.
So we have Taylor, Irving, Amon-Ra, Nico, Henry.
Yeah, we just thought like we had any reason to go Kincaid otherwise. So I think could we go May with this team?
We definitely could.
We could do May. We could do Goff, and that's about as far as I would go.
Yeah, obviously we're not taking Stroud. Is there any running quarterbacks that we like a lot here? I mean, Daniels is going to be so funny this week because a lot of people have the opportunity to take him late and you can swap him. But I don't know how much rushing he's going to do as a Commander's insider.
So here's the thing.
Probably
last year when Daniels came back from his injury, his rushing output declined by 50% for 3 weeks after his injury. So I'm thinking off the top of my head, but I forget who it was told me all about this. It was Ben Gretsch was telling us, Bendels and I all about this. Jaden Daniels had a noticeable dip in production on the rushing side after his injury last year. So I think we kind of just fade Daniels for now and we go with the stacks.
Yeah, which I'm completely fine with. I don't, as a Commanders guy, like I know that they're not going to have. They just saw what Marcus Mariota did with the team. Like he led them very well. There's no rush to bring Daniels back. I mean, especially against Atlanta, who doesn't look super great. I think they're completely fine keeping Daniels on the sideline, which is honestly what I do believe happens this week.
Let's pop over to the other draft because I think we have a lot more going on there.
Hold on, let me just double check to make sure. I want to go to this draft real quick. Okay, good. I did not star. Oops, go back. I did not star anybody else. Good. Okay, so
Mike just scrolled the fuck down and told my Harold Fannin. You mother.
On this one, we have Barkley,
only tight end and QB, right? So
we have.
It should be correct. Caleb. Look at the receivers real quick, but it should be Caleb first, and then I would circle Kincaid, Kelsey, or Henry. Like any of those guys would be fine. Honestly, no. Let's take off Kelsey. I don't want Kelsey. I want Laporta. I think over Kelsey. No, we want Juwan. Let's also circle Juwan in there. We're gonna have we can pick any tight end.
Yeah, I was wanting to scroll down. There was no other guys that we like down here, right? Fannin was the other one.
Fannon's fine, but we're getting pretty deep there. And
yeah, I mean, we do have Gibbs, so that would be a bring back if we want to get that crazy there.
That's kind of interesting. We're on the clock there. Did we get our Drake May?
We should have. We sure did.
Nice. So Goff was gone, or we just? I mean, I feel like May is also like probably the better way to play it.
I mean, May has a little bit of rushing upside too, potentially. Like he could get there that way. Goff, as you saw in
he has to go like 5 touchdowns, right? He needs to, and against the Browns, probably not likely. So I'm cool with that.
So we are up here. So we got Caleb is there. So obviously we could take Caleb if we want to do that.
Yes.
Tight end wise, Henry, Laporta, Juwan, or Fannin is the options there for us as well.
Is it crazy to think, obviously we're stacking Caleb, but is it crazy to think to go Juwan here and just kind of play into a guy who's been it? Because I feel like we have some Henry exposure. We already have Gibbs on this team. We don't want Laporta. Maybe you could say Fannin's a bring back, but at the end of the day, I think Juwan has just been way more integral to his team, and I think that it's going to be a higher scoring event.
So then you want to take Juwan?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out Penn State. Let's go Juwan. Also, shout out Oregon. Everyone always says that. He fucking wasn't at Penn State. I'm like, he was, and then he transferred to Oregon, but nonetheless. So every time I say that, people are like, he played at Oregon. I'm like, yeah, thank you. I know he did. He also played at Penn State. All right, so this team here, we ended up with the Caleb Williams, Saquon Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs, Rome Odunze, Devontae Adams, and Juwan Johnson. In our other draft, yeah, this team is fun. In our other draft, we ended with what the hell's happening? Do I need to refresh? Oh, I need to refresh it. That's why. God, Underdog pisses me off sometime with that shit. All right, the other team we had was Drake May, Jonathan Taylor, Bucky Irving, Amon-Ra, Nico, and Hunter Henry. That is also a fun team.
That draft I had.
The level of false hope with these battle royales, it's like, man, all of these teams are so good, and then it's like they don't win. You're like, I hate this format. It's so hard.
My team in that same draft with you guys was Caleb, CMC, Jahmyr Gibbs, Rome Odunze, Drake London, Brenton Strange, and Mike Raub sniped me on Harold Fannin on a huge scroll.
That's a pretty sick team, though.
Yeah. Until it's not.
Yeah.
Also, they were Mike Raub says, see, that's the EV I'm talking about. This is when we missed the CMC to you. And they FK said reported for collusion. Somewhere along the way, Bruni, he must not have liked your draft. He said report withdrawn.
No.
I don't know if that's what he's talking about, but in my mind, that's where it went when he said that. I'm like, oh hell.
Bruni, if I had Harold Fannin, that was going to be it. That was all he needed. That was the sixth Infinity Stone.
6th Infinity Stone. Okay, just because is there a way to rename these?
No idea.
I have not found that.
I didn't think so, but I wanted to make sure.
You'll know which ones.
I'll know. Obviously, we have this on stream, so we can always come back. If I'm winning a bunch of money with the team, I'm be like, fuck, was that with Candyman or not?
I think you'll remember these teams.
I hope I have to hit up Candyman at like 4:15 and be like, just so you know, we are in the sweat of our lifetime right now. All right.
Hell yeah.
I hope I get to message him that.
Or I'll just see Andrew touting his big victory on Twitter. I'm like, wait a second, that team looks familiar.
Drake May.
Juwan Johnson.
Guy.
I'm pretty sure that was my Juwan Johnson.
Yeah. I will. I'll make sure to keep these teams nice and separate. I'm just going to screenshot my screen here so I can reference this again midday Sunday when I'm like, fuck, what were those teams? There we go. Okay, good. Got it now. And I would love to fly down to. You're in Texas, right?
Houston, baby.
Yeah, I'd love to fly down there and just deliver you $25,000 in cash. It would be in a silver briefcase, if you are wondering, and we would be meeting somewhere where we're both wearing suits, so people think that we are, top dollar high dogs. And I just slowly slide that across the table to you, just so you know.
Rainforest Cafe, it is.
Yeah, Rainforest Cafe with our suits on and the gold or the silver briefcase.
No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that in Texas. What's that movie with Javier Bardem? And the one where, what's her name? She like scissors the car, the hood of a car. Cameron Diaz. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. It's like the attorney, what is it? Gosh, it's gonna drive me crazy. I think Michael Fassbender is the main character. God, it's gonna drive me nuts. Someone in the chat's gonna tell me. But anyways, someone in that movie, Brad Pitt, actually, he's walking around with a suitcase full of money, and someone just straight up assassinates him. Pretty sure that was in Dallas.
Yeah.
Neat. Good pull there.
What is that fucking movie? You all have to go watch it because it's like it messes with your head. It's like, what the fuck am I watching here?
All right, let me pull this off the screen. All right, we have went long enough. Candyman, I did see somebody in the chat ask, and I think they were asking all of us, but it just struck me to ask you because I never really know how much volume you do. But in the Battle Royale streets, what's your volume look like from week to week? How many drafts you doing?
It just depends on the tournament. I've actually been going really hard into the primetime slates so far through the first 4 weeks. And they have, Primetime Palooza is a $10. There's the Primetime Rush, I think it's called, which is a $3. And so I've actually really enjoyed doing, anywhere from 10, 15, 20 drafts, kind of a week on these primetime slates. And then I've been trickling in the battle royale and like these bigger tournaments where there's just so many entries and so many ways to play it. So I'm kind of like working my way up to once we get a little bit more weeks of data. And I think we're really close because like 4 weeks of data is kind of what I think of as like a good baseline. Then I'll start to think, how can I form an edge and like attack these large tournaments? But yeah, I'm just, not too much. It just depends on how busy I am. And then also how interested I am in these slates, but just kind of staying enough to stay sharp and also just engage with what's going on and maybe have a shot to win one of these things, but nothing crazy.
Good plan. Good plan. The research should help for next year of Best Ball Jeopardy. Got to defend that ring.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. So I've kind of been doing the same thing this year. I like the primetime hurry ups, those $3 ones. They're really fun, and yes. I like the consolidated. So like I'll play the Sunday afternoon slate ones a lot more than I'll play the Battle Royale. I like when it's less people, more consolidated teams. I kind of get to hone in on low. Like you said, with the Battle Royales, there's so many ways to play it. There's so many teams. There's so many scroll down options. You can really just get so wild with those, and like anything can happen. I feel like a condensed slate. It's easier if you're a ball knower to kind of paint yourself a picture in those smaller slates than it is to paint a picture where there's 11 games going on. You got 22 teams. It's a lot harder to win those battle royales, obviously. So if you want to build a bankroll, what Candyman is saying to do is, do these prime times, do the consolidated slates. It's probably a little easier to bump up and get that, build that bankroll a little bit, and then maybe work yourself into the battle royale. Obviously, battle royale is fun. You can win 50 grand. That's awesome. I also throw like 10, 15 teams in a week on those. But yeah, I'm with you. I like the hurry ups. I like the consolidated slates. They're a little bit more, I would say, I don't say easier, but they're condensed, which makes it easier in my mind to figure out like the best plays.
Yeah, 100%. Totally agree there. And it's just fun. It's fun to have a little bit of an extra sweat I find it distracting me from all of my season-long best ball, which is good. We should not be, worrying about our season-long best ball every day, every hour in week 3 and 4. The
Trying to make me.
it's a tournament with 4 legs, and this one leg just happens to be 14 weeks, and so like even 3 weeks down, we're still, so much further to go. We're like technically we're 3/48 of the way to Best Ball Mania finals. So that's like one way to think about it. There's one way to think about it to keep everything in perspective. But I think also we're also hyper reactive to everything that happens. Scattaboo is the next guy. Najee's out for the season. CeeDee Lamb, RIP, Bags. So all that kind of stuff.
Yep. No, for sure. But that's why it's awesome to be in the Eliminator. If you guys didn't get in this year, you should, because that's what you can sweat out every single fucking week. That's what I'm looking at all day Sunday. Is I'm like, okay, this team's whooping this team's ass. Okay, I'll check back later. And then I got one that's like, okay, I'm 10 behind this. I'm looking at that guy's team, looking at my team. Like, all right, here's the difference maker for me. The Eliminator is by far the best sweat I've ever had in best ball in the first quarter of a fucking year. I love the Eliminators. Next year, I've only done 40 this year, doing way more next year. The Eliminators is it's my second favorite. I love BBM. BBM's the staple. Everyone loves BBM, but the Eliminator, man, I'll tell you what, Badge Bros and the Eliminator are the two non flagship ones that draw my attention the most. I won't lie.
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
BBM or die. Death by Jeopardy.
All right, Bruni. I think we have held up Candyman long enough. Candyman, I appreciate you coming on and joining us. Again, tell the people where they can find you. If they aren't already watching you on the YouTube, they should be. Where can they find you on YouTube? At the FFB Garage.
Yes, on YouTube at Fantasy Football Garage, on Twitter at FFB Garage, and I hit the best ball streets pretty hard during the summer. Live stream a bunch of those, and like to do fun things like going on shows like this and talking ball with great people. So that's what it's all about. Good vibes, having fun, and then just talking ball. So I'm actually about to go live and do some drafts with Huhames, because he and I want to hammer in a few of these second quarter drafts before it fills this weekend. So I'm going to be jumping on my channel in just a moment. But it was a pleasure, guys. So fun to draft with y'all and talk it up. And I had a lot of fun. So thanks for having me on.
I'm old enough to remember when Candyman used to play elevator music in the back of his videos while he drafted, just talking to anyone that was listening. I'm like, I kind of like this guy's stream. I like the vibes to it. And he's just playing just like this slow music in the background and setting the mood, just talking. It was like a late night DJ too, just talking about best ball. It was awesome. I absolutely loved
Lo-fi.
That's right, baby. It was so good.
The lo-fi vibes were nice. I did appreciate those.
Yeah. All right. Hey, appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Come back Friday night for Justin and I on DGen Dads. Let us help you make some money. We'll see if there's any Browns versus Packers picks this week that you guys think I'm crazy on. Bruni, killing the props. We're killing it this year once again for the people. Appreciate you guys. See you guys Friday night. Bruni, take us out.
Take care. Be well. Be good. If you can't be good at it. We'll see you guys.